In this video, we're going to break down how monetization actually works once you get monetized. And I'm doing this so that YouTubers that are coming on the platform seeking to be monetized can truly understand what is going on when it comes to being monetized and receiving payments if you are trying to rely on AdSense. And now I would create a video to show you other ways to make money, but I want to give this information out because people are deceiving people with these large checks that they're showing instead of showing you what is really being paid to them. So it's giving the appearance as if, ooh, you can make all this money and it's so easy to make all this money. Um, and it's not. So my purpose of this video is to educate and to bring knowledge and awareness to people so they can have a more realistic understanding of what's actually going on. Now, when it comes to monetization, now I've only been monetized now for 5 days. And within the 5 days, I've been able to look at how everything is being applied, how I'm actually making money. Now, it do take 2 days to process when you're loading every day. Um, because it typically takes a 2 day process to upload that information about whatever views that you got on a video or whatever. Now, my numbers are low, but what I would say about having low views, you could really see what's going on in real time more so than you probably can if you got a whole bunch of numbers being thrown at you. If you ever work for a company and you work closely with data and numbers, then you could pick up on certain things that are actually happening. And the best time to do that is when you first get monetized because the numbers are going to be low. Let me start off by saying this. When you first get monetized, they don't back pay you for the views that you had prior to being monetized. That is absolutely incorrect. It starts from the time that you're actually qualified. Now, you can have those views within that month, but you're not getting paid for those views within that month. And that's why you will notice with a lot of honest content creators, their very first YouTube check, most probably didn't even cross the threshold of $100 in order to be able to receive that check. Then for those that have, it's just a small portion. It's probably $100, $200, or maybe even $300 because the monetization works within a 28-day period for the previous month, not the current month that you are in. Now, this is something I'm not really sure on far as the cutoff, but what it appears to be is it's 28 days from, I'm sorry, it's 28, yes, 28-day period, but it's not a whole calendar month. And this is what it appears only because of what it looks like on my end. Now, once I get to where I am further along in my journey, where I can see a whole couple of months and I can see the data that they're actually gathering up for when you get paid out, then I'll be able to understand if this is actually what it appears to be, is what actually happening. But regardless, if they're paying you for a 28-day period versus a actual whole month, which is typically anywhere from 30 to 31 days, we do have a couple of months within 31 days, you still are only getting paid for the previous month. Let me explain. Okay, so if they're going from month to month, February, it changed 2 days ago, y'all. Okay, we're in February, right? So they're getting ready to pay out content creators for material that was done in January. Now, if they do it month to month for the full month, it will be from January the 1st through January the 31st. If they're only paying for a cutoff period, now you look at that more so like a job. Like, what is the cutoff period for that month? And you know it takes time to process it. So if they're getting paid on the 21st, typically it's probably going to be a week prior to. So it will be the uh, 13th of February back to the 13th of January, that they will accumulate what you made within that 28-day period. If it's the way it looks and appears to me right now. But in any event, the numbers that I'm getting ready to explain to you so you can know how it actually works and you can stop being deceived by those that just throwing up numbers just to pull you in for views. They're doing that because they're trying to increase their views on their channel, not so much so that they're worried about whether or not you are being sucked in and misled by information that you're being given. And that is wrong. When you're sharing information with other content creators, you want to be as honest as possible to them in order for they can have a more realistic goal when they're setting for themselves. And the reason being is because if you feed someone hype and a whole bunch of lies, and they get something in their head where they think that is going to be the same for them, and then they find out they can't do it, they can't duplicate what that person has done, and that even if they get in, it's not working out for them, then that will lead a person to be discouraged on a system, mind you, that is extremely hard already. Um, the average is what the averages is. Out of everybody that does this, only 98% of them are very, very successful. You might have different levels of success, because I believe that um, each person's success is seen through different lenses for each person. So what I may consider success may not be what you consider success. So when we're looking at that 98%, um, we also have to look at out of the 98% that everybody keeps telling you fail as far as their channel, was that their goal? What was their goal? Was it their goal to make thousands upon thousands? Was their goal to make $100? Was their goal just to share their information? So everybody's goal and everybody's level of success will be different. But to the ones that are looking to make a profit off of the channel, whether it's just strictly making profits through AdSense, making profit through merchandise sold, making profits through courses sold, making profits through their own business that they're advertising, or whether they're trying to do it as affiliate marketing, or if they're trying to do it as their brand. They need to really understand what is actually happening in order to be successful for whatever they're looking for. And in order to have that, they need people to be honest and not just misleading them to get information on a platform with the hopes of just reeling people in. That is very dishonest and misleading, and it really needs to stop. And I know by me making this video is not going to get everybody to stop, no, but what it will do is open up eyes to those that truly wants the truth and need this information in order to help them be successful, whatever success looked like to them. So we're going to talk about what it really looks like for monetization once you become monetized. Now, a lot of my videos, if you look back on some of my videos, I do have videos that range from 1,000 views, 3,000 views, 5,000 views, 500 views. I even got videos that has 10 views, 9 views, 5 views. So there is a range of viewage on my particular videos. And I do an array of different topics on mine because I do not believe of just niching down to just one particular subject because you make yourself too narrow. So when I talk about what's happening on my end, I want you to also realize, how I'm positioned as well. But that also allow me to see various uh, niches that people are doing. And it also allows me to be able to see what is actually happening from one platform to the next. So that way, I can look at what's happening with mine. I can compare it to what other people has shown, not in comparison for whether or not I'm doing successful than them. No, but whether or not we're all are being done the same way, and it should be, right? If we're all in the same niche, if we are doing the same material, if we are talking pretty much about the same subjects, then whatever YouTube is paying one, they should be paying the other, correct? Well, here's the thing. Right? The whole platform in itself, when it comes to monetization, is a tad bit, a little bit misleading. So therefore, and I don't know if this was intentionally on YouTube part or not. I'm not going to say that what they were doing, but it is a tad bit misleading because on YouTube platform they make you believe that YouTube pays 55% to the YouTube or the content creator for whatever revenues is earned. But in fact, that is not true. I'm going to show you some numbers, which I took pictures of just to show you behind the scenes of it. And I will also follow this up by a video. So you can see those numbers were not altered. That is what it is. YouTube really isn't, in fact, paying people 55% of whatever their revenues is. In order for us to dive deeper into this conversation, we must first know what CPMs are versus RPMs are. And that way you can get a better understanding of what's actually happening with each video, right? Because the breakdown isn't the whole, it's with each video that you post up. Another point to make as to why it's probably important to put more material out there as far as videos. Upload as much as you can that is feasible to your scheduling. And yesterday I did a video on time management, but the more that you put out there, the more possibility of income you can make when it comes to the monetization side. And I want you to keep that in mind when we're going over these numbers, because that's going to show you clearly that the people that are showing you that are only posting once a day, and even for those that are posting multiple times a day, those numbers aren't right. All right. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what is CPM versus RPM. CPM is what the advertisers pay YouTube, the total amount that they pay YouTube. And it is basically the breakdown is the cost per milli, which basically means for every 1,000 impressions, listen now, for every 1,000 impressions that they get on an ad that is advertised on a content creator's platform, they pay YouTube a certain amount. Now, YouTube does share that amount with you to show you what they're being paid. That's why, if you really look at it closely and understand these numbers, you could tell that you're not getting 55%, right? Because they're actually showing you what they're being paid from the advertisers. Um, the RPM is what the YouTube content creator is actually receiving. Now, I made a video about always constantly showing your numbers isn't good because you're not going to change the fact. It's not good far as keep trying to reel people in with your money, but it is good for you to understand what is going on. So that way you can have a better perspective of what is happening and you can know what type of videos that you would like to do in order to make the type of money that you're looking to seek out of here. So knowledge of how everything works is very important and you should watch it very closely because in no company ever um, that was successful did not keep their eyes on their numbers. Uh, Data is basically how you understand whether or not you are having success or you're spiraling out. So I honestly suggest that you follow along with those numbers on a regular basis. You don't necessarily have to do it daily if you don't want to, but I would say weekly or uh, every so many days, do keep up with what's going on so that way it'll kind of give you a clue as to what you need to change up or improve on your channel. Okay. Now, RPM is the rate per milli. Okay. And that is basically what they're paying the content creator. And if you know how to utilize the system, you can go for each video and look at exactly how much you're being paid per each video, not per group of how many views, but per video. It will show you how much you're being paid far as you. And then if you go behind that video, you could see how much the advertisers is paying for that video. Well, here's where it's being misled because the CPM, which is what the advertisers pay YouTube, is per 1,000 impressions, right? But for the RPM, it's 1,000 views. 1,000 per 1,000 views. So what does that basically means for the YouTuber? If you have 30,000 views on one video, that means you're only being paid for 30 times whatever they say that they're going to pay you. Now, what I would say is if you do not have uh, 1,000 views on a particular video, they still will pay you, but it's going to be paid on a percentage base versus a times base. And so, therefore, you will notice what you should notice is that as long as they keep the RPM the same, that as you get more views on that particular video, your amount that you're receiving will increase. That's why if you look at it today, it may say one thing, and then you look at it tomorrow, it may say another thing. That's because you're constantly getting views on that video. When that video is no longer getting views, then you will not be getting paid for it. But there's still a catch, y'all. You're not necessarily getting paid for just the views or the percentage. In order for you to get paid on those videos, that means everybody that watched the video had to be watching ads on the video. If they did not watch, and here once again, me being new, I don't know how much of the video the ad that they have to watch. Just like with our view, you don't really have to necessarily watch the whole video. It's just the first 60 seconds and it's counted as a view. So with the ad, you might just have to watch up until it says skip, and then you can skip, but you can still get the credit for it, right? So I'm not really sure on that end. I got to do a little bit more researching on that. But still, all in all, everybody that go watch the videos are not watching the ads. So just because a video have 30,000 views on it, don't mean they're getting paid for all 30 views per 30. And I say per 30 because 30,000 divided in 1,000 divided into 30,000 is 30. That means if that means everybody that watched it had to watch all the ads. And we all know that's not happening, right? So whenever there is ads on inside your videos, some people have what is called YouTube Premium. My daughter has that. Now, if the viewer looks at that and they have YouTube Premium, that means they don't look at ads because they pay not to have to watch them. Well, if that particular viewer that's watching your video has the YouTube Premium, then you will be paid a percentage of every percentage of all the YouTube um, um, premium viewers. And so, therefore, it will add another dynamic to your payout, but it's not going to be as much as whatever they said you were going to get paid. Now that I explained that, let me now explain to you what is the range. I don't care what your niche is. The range for payouts from I keep saying Uber, from YouTube is anywhere from $1 and some change, like $1.60, $1.70 and some change, all the way up to 29 and some change, right? So to make this a little easier for you to follow along, and mind you, these figures is if you get at least 1,000 views on a video that everybody watch the ads. Okay. It's going to range from $2 to $30, depending on your niche, right? Now, on my channel, I have entertainment, so there's comedy niche. I have YouTube tips, so there's a YouTube niche. I also have um, motivation. There's a motivational niche, right? There is a how-to on my tone of my video. So I have different ranges of payouts for niches. I also do lives. Okay, lives pay about $15 on the live, up to about $15, because sometimes the lives only pay out about um, $4 or $5 far as what the advertisers pay YouTube. So for you, you're not even getting that. And the 55% of what they say that you're getting is really more like 39, 40%. They're not paying you 55. And I'm going to show you from this screenshots, and on a future video I'm going to take you behind the scenes so you can see they're not paying you 55%. It's not happening. Okay? So, knowing all of this, when you're looking at somebody that's showing you screenshots of how much their check is, do not be deceived by those numbers, because in order for someone to even let's dabble real quick. Okay, let's say someone posts one video a day, right? And on that video they get 9,000 views, right? And I'm going to say 9,000 in a day. You divide that by 1,000, that's going to give you nine. Nine uh, that you can multiply times their niche. Now, I know for a fact motivation probably pays anywhere between $6 and $9, and it will fluctuate, greatly. And then and YouTube tips fluctuate to about anywhere from $6 to $8. I can see it now, y'all, right? So I'm going to be very generous and say that they're making $30. That's real generous. I can tell you already, the $30 payouts are more so on money or technical equipment. It has got nothing to do with motivation or YouTube tips. But for this particular example, I'm going to give the highest payout for a RPM. Time 30. That's $270 in a day, correct? Let's just assume that one video, they're doing it every day. That's time 30. At max, it will be 8,100. Now, we know people can continue to watch the videos throughout the month. Well, they're not going to get over 8,000 for those unless they double it, okay? Unless the video within that 28-day period get past 9,000 views a day, then they're not going to see that money. At best, I would say someone, if and you can look at and you can really, if they're doing the same thing over and over, they're getting paid the same amount for their niche. So if let's say they made they had different ranges or whatever. You might even see people with video with a hundred and something thousand views on their one video. That's 125,000. Let's say they got 125,000 views on a video. Divide that by 1,000. That is still only 125. Now, mind you, that means everybody that watched that video, that's why I said I'm being very generous, had to watch the YouTube ad, right? That would only be $3,720, right? I'm really and truly believing that those $20,000 checks that people are telling you they're getting in 1 month for doing absolutely nothing other than hollering and screaming on their videos and just halfway and telling you to copy people because that's all they do. I think they're probably getting like six, $7,000 checks, and I think they may even be getting $10,000 checks, but they're not getting $20,000 checks or $30,000 checks in a month for the stuff that they're telling you. In fact, even if people were donating them money through super chats, YouTube takes half of that, and I will show you proof of it. Not to mention, depending on the ads that are running on their video, and mind you, in order for all these numbers to be valid, that means every person had to watch every video, right? And then it still wouldn't be valid because it's not even first making any sense. The numbers aren't adding up. You could lie, but numbers don't. Right? So stop being fooled by the lies that people are telling you to make you believe that they're making this and that. I'm talking about people with millions of viewers that get millions of subscribers. Probably now, I will believe they're probably pulling in probably $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year. But people that have 74,000 and 65,000 and 25,000 and 50,000 subscribers and only getting 9,000 and 10,000 views and only get sometimes getting 30,000 views every now and again and maybe one time getting 125,000. They're not pulling in $20,000 a month, y'all. The math is not mathing. It is not adding up. It doesn't even first work that way. Even down with the YouTube lives, they don't, unless you're running ads on your lives. When you start doing them, and a lot of these people aren't even first doing lives, so they ain't getting the highest potential probably that they can get with the lives. But unless you are have all the limitations released from your lives, then you're not even getting that ability to make that kind of money off of your lives and then double back on it when you post it as a video. Y'all have to stop being driven by money, because money is making people do and believe some crazy stuff, all while these people are just making, a couple of thousands of dollars from off of you, and you're not even being focused on what you need or getting the information that you need to be prosperous for you. Now, I know this was a long video, but I'm going to show other videos and break other stuff down, because YouTube pays several ways. They pay through super chats. They pay through super stickers, all that they take half of the money from. Okay, they pay through memberships. They pay through ads is just one way. They pay through premium, YouTube Premium. They also pay through the stores or whatever. But if people aren't doing all those things on their videos, it's less likely they're making the kind of money that they're showing you. All right. So stop being deceived and pulled in by a whole bunch of lies and false hope and being hyped up versus getting correct information. Now, like I said, I'll be bringing more videos as I've learned what I've learned, and give you real information that you can take and use to benefit your channel so that you can grow and be successful with some realistic numbers. All right, y'all. As always, be your brothers and sisters keeper. Keep God first. And toodles.